Changing max.
Enemy in the courtyard.
We have. We're in the lead.
Enemy at the bridge.
Enemy personal radar. AO is too hot. You'll redeploy with enemy on the HQ. Bend. HQ shut down. Regroup. We're moving soon. Get ready.
Enemy at the bridge.
HQ established.
Enemy at the bridge.
HQ is marked. Get moving. HQ contested. HQ contested. Enemy precision airstrike inbound. Take that. Friendly UAV online. Halfway there. Keep tight. No reinforcements available. Enemy on the HQ. Defend. Friendly counter strike inbound. HQ disabled. Get ready. Get ready for the next HQ. New HQ established.
Enemy at the bridge.
HQ active. Control. HQ, go. HQ lost. HQ disabled. Get ready to move out. Get ready to hunt. HQ established.
Enemy at the compound.
Enemy on the HQ. Get over there. We've lost the HQ.
Enemy at the construction site.
I see more.
Like that, and I'm like, dang it. You know, like that. And in my head, now I hadn't heard a word he said. It's just like...
to Massachusetts to try to take home base away from Senator Warren. He's going into Minnesota today to try to take home base away from Senator Klobuchar. She's also been out in Colorado and Utah trying to reach viability. Is that the standard there? The test?
I think she wants to do as well as possible in Minnesota, try to make the case that I'm the Midwestern candidate who can win in places like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Ohio by showing that she can do well in the Midwest, and then trying to reach viability in some of the other states. It's not a strong path. There are a lot of states where she's likely to be 5th or 4th and not really up in the top tier. But doing well in Minnesota could help her make the case that I should stay in the race because I can do well in the Midwest, and we need the Midwest in order to win in November. That's her strongest argument at this point. We'll have to wait and see Tuesday night and Wednesday how she does.
With Buttigieg out of the race, maybe she has a clearer path to make that case, but she has to make it by performance. I just want to quickly note the candidate who's often forgotten, Tulsi Gabbard, because she does not make the debates as of right now. She has 0 pledged delegates. She didn't really compete in Iowa. She was 7th in New Hampshire. She didn't really compete in Nevada, and she was 7th in South Carolina. She spent about $148,000 on Super Tuesday states. I will note this. She's from Hawaii. She's a congresswoman from Hawaii. American Samoa votes on Super Tuesday. The rules as they now stand say if you get a delegate, you're back in the debates as of now, correct?
Yeah, they haven't, that's been the rule for every single debate, and they have not, the DNC has not released their official guidance for the March 15th debate in Phoenix, but it would be very obvious that they are trying to cancel Tulsi, who they're scared of a third-party run, if they then change the rules to prevent her to rejoin the debate stage.
We'll count every last delegate tomorrow night, including American Samoa. When we come back, Israelis back at the polls today. Yes, Israelis back at the polls today. It's the 3rd time, really the charm. Will they clearly pick a prime minister?
$9.95 at
I would not do it. I'm not moving on from a 28-year-old
my contract, then it became a big old thing. When I signed, I didn't really know what was in my contract. I was young, I think I was like 20. And I didn't know everything that was in that contract. So when I got with Rock Nation, I got management, real management. I got real lawyers. And they was like, do you know that this is in your contract? And I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy. No, I didn't know. So I'm not mad at 1501. I wasn't upset because I'm thinking in my head, oh, well, everybody cool. We all family. It's cool. It's nice. Let me just ask some niggas to renegotiate my contract. As soon as I said I want to renegotiate my contract, everything went left. Like, it just all went bad. It all went left. So now they're telling the bitch that she can't drop no music. It's really just like a greedy game. Like, it's really just real greedy. Wasn't trying to lead a label. Wasn't trying to not give nobody money that they feel like they entitled to. I just want to renegotiate some shit. I'm not a greedy person. I'm not a person that like confrontation. I'm not a person that's a bitch. Like, I work with everybody, and I'm nice, and I'm real family oriented. But niggas gonna be niggas, and they gonna be greedy, and they gonna be shady. And I see the shit that people be that that can't be saying about me, and I be like, damn. Well, since you got so much to say, why you just won't tell them? Why you mad? You mad because I don't want to roll over and bow down like a little bitch, and you don't want to renegotiate my contract. Niggas be like, oh, yeah, they made Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion was Megan Thee Stallion before I even got over there. I've been rapping, been freestyling, been doing me, been made. So how the fuck can y'all say a nigga made me? Niggas don't even care about what's right. They care about money in the end, and it's a greedy game, man. So y'all don't see no music from Megan Thee Stallion? It's because
check it out, Nike. I told me that the people who was repping this Hot Girl Summer couldn't read a contract. I wouldn't be motherfucking surprised. Okay, now ladies and gentlemen, Megan Thee Stallion, the leader of the Hot Girl Summer movement, the twerk queen, is out here basically saying she can't put out music. Okay, you guys heard pretty much a long sob. I don't know if she got the coronavirus or she's just sad because she got finessed. But pretty much, she went on Instagram Live to say, yo, I can't put out no more music. My label won't let me put anything out. Now, I'm going to try to bring some clarity to this whole thing because we hear this from time to time from different artists. And a lot of times, we as the fans tend to think, oh my God, this is the biggest injustice going on in the world. Right? And I'm here to tell y'all, based on more things that I've learned, just even really being exposed to labels and artist feuds, that it's usually not the case. Let me give y'all a couple examples. Whether it's Wayne, whether it's Uzi, whether it's Megan Thee Stallion, whether it's Juicy J, who recently called out Columbia, then he said it was cool 10 minutes later, these artists realize they have something that a label will never have. They have the trust of the people, they have the fans believing in them, and when shit doesn't get handled correctly behind closed doors, they bring it publicly and they tell one side of the story. Also, we have people like Tory Lanez. Interscope recently paid him off supposedly to get him to shut up. But in reality, the music industry is really twofold. It's not only the artists who are usually looking for a big bag up front or the best opportunity, but it's also the labels on the back end who are looking for the most security if they blow up an artist. They want to keep an artist forever, okay? They want the most amount of music put out by that artist on their label. Now, let me explain what's going on with Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion was signed to 1501, I can't just say, oh my God, I just feel so bad for her. And by the way, did I expect her to read the contract? I mean, I expected her to, but honestly, that's why you hire a lawyer. That's why you should have a lawyer when it's on the record. And that lawyer can tell you what's in it, what isn't, and what you can bring. There's some things that I would say. Innocent? When I say that, I mean, I just think she's trying to leave the label and breach her contract. Yes, of course. It's more lucrative for her at this point. People fire managers after signing long deals with them when they blow up because they see another manager who will get them a Super Bowl commercial. Yes. Now, this is why I couldn't really ever get down the street. Okay, there's too many inconsistencies, too many hypocrisies, and to be honest, man, shit never makes only sense. Okay, now I get it, I get the term, unite in the streets, stay on the sidewalks, but I also am a human. I think we'll have a shared experience. Now, we think about Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke passed away at the age of 20. He was murdered in cold blood. Seems like an assassination because four masked men ran up into a Hollywood home. Apparently, he was there with maybe 4 to 6 other people, and he was the only person that was shot multiple times, and he died. Now, police are trying to solve this crime. They're trying to solve this murder. Now, the police are coming out to say, we're kind of running to a dead end. Yes, we have surveillance footage. Yes, we're processing other DNA and other crime scene information that we might have to perhaps find whoever the suspects are that did this. But one of the biggest things that could help us is that there were niggas there. Like, there were people actually there. So, the people that were there were 4
increase in testing, or is this both?
Brianna, it looks like it's both. Once you have some community testing, some community spread, you're going to have more and more of it. What community spread is, it's not people who travel to China, it's not their spouses or their close contacts, it's people where we don't even know where they got it. They got it somewhere out in the community, they didn't travel, they don't know anyone who did travel, they just got it somewhere. Now, this is coming at the same time as we're able to test for this much more efficiently. The CDC, since mid-January, has been trying to get tests out to state and local health departments, but it didn't go very smoothly, and it's only really now in the past week or so that they've been able to get those tests out there. So many of the cases that we heard about this weekend, cases in Oregon, cases in New York, cases in Florida, Rhode Island, other states, it was because they had a test right there that they could locally use in that state.
Yeah, it didn't go smoothly. There were flaws in a lot of them. And I wonder, talking test kits here, Elizabeth, is there enough? Are there enough testing kits to do their best to contain this virus?
You know, I'm certainly hearing from physicians, I want to test, but I still have to send mine to the CDC in Atlanta, which obviously is not the most efficient way to go. In other places, here on CNN, we heard from a doctor in New York who said, I have to send the test that I want to do to the New York State lab, and he was complaining about that. Doctors want and need to have this test right there in their hospital or wherever they do a flu test or any other test. This should hopefully become just like any other test, but we are not there yet.
All right, Elizabeth Cohen, thank you so much.
Thanks.
President Trump also announcing new travel screenings for some people arriving in the U.S. Travelers from high-risk areas will now be subjected to an extra level of screening once they arrive in the U.S. after being checked before boarding. Bryn Gingras is at Newark Liberty Airport in New Jersey. And Bryn, a lot of international flights where you are. What is this screening process like?
Yeah, that's right. Well, Brianna, first let's just go over those high-risk countries, as said by the Trump administration. We're talking about parts of Italy, South Korea, China, and Iran. Those are the high-risk countries as of yet. Of course, that could be expanded as this entire outbreak around the globe really continues. What we're learning is that there's going to be dual screenings for international travelers with those 4 countries, meaning travelers, before they get on the plane, they are going to be screened, and then once they actually are stateside. Now, what we've learned from just talking to people, that screening process seems to be a series of asking a lot of questions about where you have been, but also in some cases getting your temperature checked as well, among other things. Now, over the weekend, we learned even more that the Trump administration was doing, expanding that travel ban with Iran. Now, this is essential for foreign nationals who are traveling to Iran. Essentially, if you've been there in the last 14 days, you are not going to be allowed back into the United States. And then we also heard the Vice President Mike Pence over the weekend urging Americans to not travel to those high-risk countries, to stay away from Italy, South Korea, China, Iran, essentially saying that this is now a level 4 advisory, the highest it can be. And in response to that, Brianna, we have seen airlines really cut down on their flights, some canceling them outright, like American and Delta. We're also expecting possibly more airlines to follow suit. Brianna? All
right, Bryn, thank you so much from Newark Airport. The CDC is also under fire after admitting it mistakenly released a patient in San Antonio, Texas, who then later tested positive for the coronavirus. Although the patient was part of a group that had come back from Wuhan, China, the person tested negative twice for the virus and was then released. It was only later that this person was tested again a 3rd time and put back into quarantine after that test was shown to be mildly positive. This news infuriated the mayor of San Antonio, Ron Nirenberg, tweeting out that this mistake was unacceptable. And Mayor Nirenberg is joining us now. Mayor, thank you so much for coming on. And just this person, as we said, tested negative twice before they were released. They were asymptomatic, according to officials. Are you worried about this particular case on its own, or is this because you also have quarantined patients from the Diamond Princess cruise ship and other patients from China, and you want to make sure that there's a proper protocol in place for them so this doesn't happen again?
I think it's all of the above, Brianna, and thank you for clarifying that. There are quarantines happening in multiple locations around this country, and based on the guidance of our medical community, we want to make sure that before anyone is released into the public, they are confirmed not to be of any risk to exposure to the public. The whole point of quarantine is to make sure that exposure to the general public is eliminated. And in this case, we found out that a patient who had previously tested positive was subsequently tested negative, was released when a test result was still pending, which I find totally unacceptable.
Now, you want, the request that you've been making is that quarantine patients are tested a third time. You want to make sure that they're clear before being released. Are
right.
Officials going to heed that request going forward, do you think?
Well, so far, our federal delegation is in agreement. We have agreement from the highest levels of our state health department. The governor's office all agree that there need to be more rigorous testing and that we shouldn't release people that could potentially be exposed to the general public. And that's for their own safety as well. These are Americans who are requiring the highest level of care once they come to the United States. And so we have about 122 people from the Diamond Princess that were scheduled to end their quarantine today. We're asking for that to be extended until such time as we get additional testing back, and for some of them being tested a first time.
Is San Antonio ready for an outbreak? Do you have enough test kits? Do you have enough hospital space for a surge in patients?
San Antonio is benefited by a very well-coordinated regional health response team, STRAC. We coordinate in the event of an emergency or disaster for 8 states region-wide. So we do this very well. But what makes it strong is a partnership and good coordination with our state and federal partners. And so we've been communicating for weeks now concerns about how we can improve the protocol. So we are prepared at the local level to do everything we need to do to protect the public. But once again, we need to make sure that our federal partners are in coordination. Look, the CDC is requesting people encouraging people to wash their hands to prevent the spread of the virus, as they would during this time of season. What we're trying to say is I also encourage the federal administration not to wash its hands of their responsibility to keep our people safe.
All right, Mayor, thank you so much. Ron Nirenberg of San Antonio.
Thank you.
The Surgeon General issuing a warning about a shortage of face masks in hospitals, which is where they're needed the most, as the public buys them in bulk. Plus, as candidates head into Super Tuesday, see the delegate scoreboard and also which states are the biggest prizes tomorrow. And after leaving the race, Pete Buttigieg is mulling whether to endorse a candidate still in the running, and he's thinking about it after a conversation with President Barack Obama.
Since everything's included at Beaches Negril in Jamaica, you can do all the things you love with the ones you love. Because the best thing you can give your family on vacation is you.
That's right, my generation. Yeah, all about a good time. Yeah, all about a good life. You won't believe it till you see. This is gonna be a fun ride. Yeah, all about
Beaches All-Inclusive Resorts, where you can feel like family again. Call 1-800-BEACHES and save up to 65%.
Guys, carrying some extra weight? I know what you're thinking. Should I stop tucking my shirt in? Wear my pants lower? Just buy bigger clothes? You don't have to suffer to drop some pounds. Stop. Lose the weight without going hungry with Nutrisystem for Men, America's #1 home delivery weight loss program. Lose up to 18 pounds and 8 inches overall in your first month. Check us out today and get protein-packed shakes free. Text MEN to 246810 now. Dude, you don't have to go hungry, count calories, or follow some silly rules. People across America trust Nutrisystem because they deliver your favorite foods made healthier and perfectly balanced to put your body in fat-burning mode. So you eat the food and lose the weight. And the best part? Nutrisystem's money-back guarantee. Act now. Buy 1 month, get 1 free. Text MEN to 246810 now. Buy 1 month, get 1 free.
I'm Alex Trebek, here to tell you about the Colonial Penn program. If you're age 50 to 85 and looking to buy life insurance on a fixed budget, remember the 3 Ps.
What are the 3 Ps?
The 3 Ps of life insurance on a fixed budget are price, price, and price. A price you can afford, a price that can't increase, and a price that fits your budget.
I'm 65 and take medications. What's my price?
You can get coverage for $9.95 a month.
I just turned 80. What's my price?
$9.95 a month for you, too. If you're age 50 to 85, call now about the #1 most popular whole life insurance plan, available through the Colonial Penn program. It has an affordable rate starting at $9.95 a month. No medical exam, no health questions. Your acceptance is guaranteed. And this plan has a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, so your rate can never go up for any reason. And with this plan, you can pick your payment date, so you can time your premium due date to work with your budget. So call now for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner, and it's yours just for calling. So call now.
Call 1-800-775-6214 for your free information and your free gift. That number again is 1-800-775-6214. Call now.
Having an idea for a business was easy, but without the right team and the right tools in place, it's just an idea. That's why I use NetSuite.
NetSuite is the world's #1 cloud business system. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/grow.
Can you customize the S&P 500 to meet your client's growth objective? Only Sector SPDR ETFs can divide the benchmark into 11 investable pieces. This allows you to underweight sectors like real estate and utilities and overweight sectors like technology. Sector SPDRs write your next chapter in investing. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Go to sectorspiders.com for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully.
HelloFresh recipes are so easy, you can get dinner on the table in about 30 minutes.
Yay, I love it!
Now we're actually able to have some quality time on a weeknight, which is awesome.
Go to HelloFresh.com and use code TV10 to get 10 free meals, including free shipping during our Valentine's flash sale.
Closed captioning brought to you by Mesobook.com.
We offer a free book on mesothelioma. Call for the free book and receive so much more. Call 1-800-831-3700.
We are now less than 18 hours away from polls opening on Super Tuesday, and right now 2020 Democrats are fanned out across the country making their case to voters. With 14 delegate-rich states up for grabs, there is a lot on the line. And now that former Mayor Pete Buttigieg is out of the race, an energized Joe Biden is hoping to emerge from the pack after a resounding win in South Carolina as he looks to lock down moderate support and challenge the frontrunner, Senator Bernie Sanders, head on. We have CNN's Tom Foreman with us. Tell us where the delegate count stands right now, Tom.
Well, it looked just a short while ago like Bernie Sanders was going to run away with this. But then we had South Carolina come in and Joe Biden comes surging up here with this. Buttigieg dropping out now. Question is, where did these votes go? We don't know. Look at the others who are in the top tier here as best we have. The women who are running for office, they are falling behind these numbers as well. But then if we go and look at tomorrow, that's when the big prizes are on the line. Specifically, pay attention to California out here. 415 delegates didn't play out here. That, you have to get a 15% delegate threshold to get a share of it. If Sanders could really run it over here, he'd get a big, big boost. But if he doesn't, then Biden could get a share of that. And then we see what happens elsewhere here. And of course, the question is Mike Bloomberg. He spent about $175 million to have a big showing in all of this brie. We'll see if he comes through.
All right, Tom Foreman, thank you so much. We have our correspondents spread out across Super Tuesday states as candidates are making their final pitches to voters. First, let's go to Kyung Lah. She is in Denver with the Klobuchar campaign. So, Kyung, Senator Amy Klobuchar walked away from South Carolina and she got 0 delegates there. How much of her candidacy is riding on tomorrow's contest? And can she improve to really stay in the race?
Well, in short, a lot. Let's do a quick review. In Nevada, she finished 6th. In South Carolina, she finished 6th. Pete Buttigieg and Tom Steyer, both who finished above her in Nevada and South Carolina, they both have already dropped out. So the pressure is on for Super Tuesday, but the campaign says that they are moving forward to Super Tuesday. A source who knows and understands what's happening inside the Klobuchar campaign tells CNN that planning is moving forward to March 10th, that staff is still being being hired. So the Klobuchar campaign is still moving forward. She was in Utah. She's planning here a rally in Colorado, and then will be in Oklahoma. She will spend Super Tuesday in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and it is that state, Minnesota, that her campaign feels very good about. It is her home state. They are hoping to win the delegates there, a majority of the delegates there, because she is an extremely popular senator. But I want you to look at what happened last night in Minneapolis. This is a rally. It was supposed to be a rally for Senator Klobuchar last night. Protesters took over the stage. They forced the cancellation of this rally. Those protesters were there asking to highlight a case that happened when Klobuchar was a Hennepin County attorney, saying that they felt that it was inadequately prosecuted, that there was prosecutorial and police misconduct, and that forced the shutdown of that rally, Brianna. The campaign said they were disappointed and hoped that they would be able to meet with them. They simply did not want to. Brianna.
Kyung, thank you. Let's go to Los Angeles now, and Layla Santiago. Senator Elizabeth Warren is going to be speaking there later on today, Layla.
Right, and her campaign is saying this ain't over yet. I mean, that's the message that you see on social media, in conversations with them. And her campaign manager is pointing to numbers here, saying, look, in February we raised $29 million. And while we're speaking about numbers, I think it's important to also talk about Persist PAC, the pro-Warren super PAC that is dumping $12 million in ad buys for Super Tuesday, $5 million right here in California, where, as you said, Brianna, she will be tonight. Over the weekend, she was in Texas. And I think her strategy here is becoming clearer just based on her actions. She released this morning a plan for farm workers. Tonight, she's expected to speak about the Justice for Janitors movement. That was a movement that was organized by a majority of Latina and Latino service workers. So clearly, they are here targeting Latino voters, a very important, significant voting block in California. But the big question will be, she herself has admitted that she had disappointing results in early voting states. Will she be able to do well enough on Super Tuesday to move on?
Layla, thank you. And Athena Jones is in Salt Lake City, where frontrunner Bernie Sanders will soon take the stage. What's it like there, Athena?
Hi, Brianna. Well, people have been lining up here at this rally in Utah, a state with 29 delegates at stake for the last several hours. And the Sanders campaign has reason to be confident about Utah. This is a state where back in 2016, Sanders won by a landslide. He won 80% of the vote. We should mention that Utah is a majority white state, about 80% white, but there's a pretty good size Hispanic population of 13%. And we've seen Sanders do well with Hispanic voters, particularly in Nevada. And now they haven't left that to chance, of course. In the last year or so since the campaign launched, they've held more than 300 events with volunteers, including some in recent days with Sanders' wife, Jane Sanders, who held a small business roundtable. She held a Black People for Bernie event. She held an event with members of the Mormon community. So they're not leaving it to chance. Here today, Brianna, I expect Sanders' message to be very much focused on Biden. In the last few days, he spent more time in his stump speeches talking about the former vice president after his big win in South Carolina. Bernie Sanders trying to argue that he is the best candidate to put up against Trump because of the vice president's record. He says that you can't put someone against Trump when President Trump could cut ads talking about the fact that Vice President Biden back in the day voted in favor of the Iraq war. He voted in favor of what Sanders calls the disastrous trade deal of NAFTA. He was in favor of a balanced budget amendment that would have led to cuts to Social Security. So Sanders is arguing he has the energy, the enthusiasm, and the right record to go up against Trump. Brianna?
All right, Athena, thank you. Jessica Dean is in Houston now with the Biden campaign. And Jessica, they're feeling pretty good, right, coming off his win in South Carolina?
Yeah, Brianna, the Biden campaign really feels like they have got a strong wind at their back. We are here in Houston at Texas Southern University. It's an HBCU. You hear the gospel choir behind me. They're really targeting African-American voters. That's who came out so strongly for him in South Carolina, giving him that blowout win on Saturday. And what they're hoping is that win propels them with this momentum forward into Super Tuesday. Both money, that they're getting a lot of donations. They've raised a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars, $10 million over the last couple of days, which is a lot of money for the Biden campaign, but also momentum. They are hoping that that win was significant enough to really blunt Michael Bloomberg in a lot of these states, and in states like Texas, where we are right now, and that tells you a lot about where the Biden campaign's head is. It's a delegate-rich state, one of the biggest prizes tomorrow. They are hoping to do very well here if they can't win, to keep Bernie Sanders' margins down here and certainly in California. That's where the vice president will be spending Super Tuesday in California. But Brianna, the other thing that we're seeing from the Biden campaign today, a lot of endorsements. Many, many congressional endorsements, and they're trying to push out that message that that wing of the Democratic Party, this more moderate wing of the Democratic Party, is coalescing behind Joe Biden. So, Brianna, can they effectively make that message? That's going to be the question on Tuesday.
All right, Jessica, thank you for that report. And I will say, I just love seeing all the women on the bus, Jessica, Layla, Athena, and Kyung. And tonight, you will be able to watch the biggest interviews before the biggest day of primaries. CNN has exclusive one-on-one interviews with the Democratic presidential candidates live from Washington, D.C., starting tonight at 8 p.m. right here on CNN. And the Supreme Court announced it will be taking up a challenge to the Affordable Care Act this October, what that could mean for Obamacare. Plus, as fears grow over the coronavirus outbreak, we'll be answering your questions, your pressing questions about the virus with an epidemiologist.
Different folks have different strokes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, get it, baby.
It's endless sirloin and seafood at Golden Corral.
Different moves for different groups.
Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
I lost this much weight on Jenny Craig.
Introducing My Rapid Results, powered by science. Lose up to 16 pounds in 4 weeks with a free coach and a menu built just for you. Call now to lose 16 pounds for $16, plus get $100 in free food with purchase.
When home projects get away from you, let the Home Advisor app match you to the best pros for the job. Or when your to-do list starts taking over, check Home Advisor to see how much your project should cost. And when something unexpected comes along, instantly book an appointment online with a top-rated pro. Be prepared for any project that comes your way, expected or unexpected. Download the free Home Advisor app or go to homeadvisor.com today.
Needles, essential for the sea urchin, but maybe not for people with rheumatoid arthritis, because there are options, like an injection. Xeljanz XR, a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well enough. Xeljanz XR can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections like TB. Don't start Xeljanz if you have an infection. Taking a higher than recommended dose of Xeljanz for RA can increase risk of death. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers, including lymphoma, and blood clots have happened, as have tears in the stomach or intestines, serious allergic reactions, and changes in lab results. Tell your doctor if you've been somewhere fungal infections are common, or if you've had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Needles, fine for some, but for you, 1 pill a day may provide symptom relief. Ask your doctor about Xeljanz XR, an injection.
What if there was something that can reduce body fat, boost mood, get rid of wrinkles, tighten saggy skin, and make you look and feel decades, not years, but decades younger? Interested?
Serovital, available at Ulta and smarter retailers nationwide.
Allergies with sinus congestion and pressure? Go to the pharmacy counter for powerful Claritin D. While the leading allergy spray is indicated for 6 symptoms, Claritin D is indicated for 8, including sinus congestion and pressure. Claritin D. Get more.
From roof to foundation, the damage to your home can be devastating, from clogged gutters, leaking roofs, rotting wood and fascia, and flooded basements. Protect your entire home with Leaf Filter, the nation's #1 rated gutter protection system. Once our ladders go up, you can put yours down forever.
One of the things that I like the most is that I don't have to get back on the ladder anymore.
Leaf Filter starts by cleaning, sealing, and realigning your gutters. We then install our micro mesh screen over your existing gutters, which is guaranteed to filter out everything except for water.
trying other products is what made us finally go to Leaf Filter.
And Leaf Filter's lifetime transferable warranty makes it an extraordinary value.
Leaf Filter's going to make my home more valuable, especially when I go to sell it.
Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or go to getleaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection and estimate. Call or log on today and save 15%.
Super Tuesday. One day, 14 primaries. The most important test for the presidential candidates yet. And no one can bring it to you like CNN. Super Tuesday. Special coverage starts tomorrow at 4 Eastern, live on CNN.
Awesome internet. It's more than just fast. It keeps all your devices running smoothly. With built-in security that protects your kids, no matter what they're up to. Protects your info and gives you 24/7 peace of mind. That if it's connected, it's protected. Even that pet camera thingy. Can your internet do that? Xfinity XFi can, because it's simple, easy, awesome.
Doing the things we love can be painful. Aspercream's triple effect provides targeted relief, works in minutes, lasts for hours. Love hurts. Aspercream works.
It's a familiar story. Allergies ruining your sleep and next day too. Taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose provides the same relief as Zyrtec at nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
The Windsors, Inside the Royal Dynasty. Sundays at 10 on CNN.
The fate of the Affordable Care Act is once again in the hands of the Supreme Court. The High Court announcing today that it will take up a third challenge to Obamacare. We have CNN Supreme Court analyst Joan Piskupic here with me to explain all of this, because this one might be a little bit different. We're expecting this decision to come after the election. That may be key. But what's really at the heart of this?
Okay, so this is the third time the Supreme Court's going to take up this landmark law that was passed in 2010. But this is the first time that we have an administration that is not fully defending the law. The first two times were when President Obama was in office. So this makes this case that's already very dramatic and politically charged even more so. At the core of it, Brianna, is a test of what was originally a tax penalty that anyone would have gotten if he or she did not obtain insurance. You know, the linchpin of the whole law was that people had to get insurance. In 2017, Congress zeroed out that tax penalty. So Texas and several states sued, saying, without the tax penalty, the individual insurance mandate is invalid, and frankly, the whole law should fail. That's been their position. That's what one lower court judge had ruled. And then when an appeals court judge ruled in December, said, okay, so the individual mandate would fall, but we can't figure out what else would go with it. The Trump administration, throughout this litigation, has had shifting positions, but for a time in the lower court, it said the whole thing should fall. And that would include coverage for people with pre-existing conditions, such as cancer or diabetes, other popular provisions, such as, allowing people to stay on their parents' health care plans until they're 26, the Medicaid expansion. You remember how sweeping this law was. It's about 1,000 pages long, so a lot will be at stake. And you mentioned the election. You're right. The case will probably not be resolved until after the 2020 election, but the Trump administration is going to have to make its position clear before then, and that's going to play into the election politics, I believe.
Joan Piskupic, thank you so much. You always make this so accessible, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
As cases of coronavirus rise in the U.S., the Surgeon General is warning Americans about not only buying face masks, but using them. Plus, we'll answer your questions on The Outbreak next.
As your new child executive officer, my first idea is cereal pancakes, topped with cereal milk mousse, and kids eat free.
Oh, me likey. We all likey.
Cereal pancakes, now at IHOP.
What if you could go into the past, back before the fishing line was cast, to see that it was sustainable wild caught, so you can feel good about the fish that you bought? We know the story of all the fish that we've sold, because that's what makes us whole.
the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S.
The markets are plunging for a second straight day.
Health experts warn the U.S. is underprepared. Managing a crisis is what Mike Bloomberg does. In the aftermath of 9/11, he steadied and rebuilt America's largest city, oversaw emergency response to natural disasters, upgraded hospital preparedness to manage health crises, and he's funding cutting-edge research to contain epidemics. Tested, ready.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Billions of mouths, billions of problems. Morning breath, garlic breath, stinky breath? There's a TheraBreath for you. TheraBreath Fresh Breath Oral Rinse instantly fights all types of bad breath and works for 24 hours, so you can breathe easy. There's TheraBreath at Walmart.
When you're looking to hire, you can find just the right person on Indeed. Indeed gives you tools like online skills tests, which help a candidate show they are the right hire. We'll also give you this groundhog that will come out when the right candidate appears.
Great. You got the job.
Okay, there's no groundhog, but skills tests for sure. Try skills tests free when you post your job at Indeed.com/groundhog.
About 2-3 weeks into Noom, I saw a commercial on TV. I go, Noom should have me on the commercial because I eat candy and ice cream all day.
Noom is made for the real world.
I'm a third-generation candy maker.
It's so sustainable, and I don't have to deprive myself. It corrected all of the bad habits that I had fallen into.
From both physical and mental standpoint, he's just healthier.
I taste candy every day for a living, and if I can lose weight on Noom, so can you. Visit Noom.com and change your life for good.
I saved hundreds on my car insurance when I switched to Geico. This is how it made me feel. It was like that feeling when you go to high-five a coworker and you do a perfect high-five. Everyone is really excited for you because it was such a great high-five. And then the boss comes in and she wants one too.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
How about no?
No.
No way.
Come on. No. No.
No.
No. Only Discover has no annual fee on any card.
Attention. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has officially authorized new benefits that Medicare Advantage plans may include. To get the benefits you deserve, you can call the Medicare Coverage Helpline.
Hi, I'm Joe Name. If you're on Medicare, this is important information. I called the Medicare Coverage Helpline and they instantly looked up my coverage. In this one simple call, they offered to enroll me in a plan that includes rides to medical appointments, private home aids, doctors and nurses' visits by telephone, and even home-delivered meals. The plan also includes dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage, all at no additional cost.
Don't delay. Call to see if the new benefits are available in your area.
Call the number on your screen now. It's free.
Call 1-800-274-4100. That's 1-800-274-4100 now.
This is a Filet-O-Fish sandwich. These are Arby's 2 for $6 fish sandwiches. So, see you soon then. Arby's, we have the meats.
Carl and Alan, they're staying at the same hotel, but there's one big difference, the price. Carl found the hotel on his usual website, whereas Alan used Trivago to scan hotel deals from the major booking sites and saved $30 a night. Hotel, Trivago.
Closed captioning brought to you by Christian Faith Publishing. Tell your story and get your book published today.
Are you a Christian author with a book that you're ready to share with the world?
Get published now. Call for your free publisher kit today.
1-800-552-2176. This is CNN Breaking News.
We have some breaking news on the campaign trail. Just hours before Super Tuesday, Senator Amy Klobuchar will end her presidential campaign tonight and endorse Joe Biden. I want to go straight now to Kyung Law, who is on the road with the senator. Kyung, is this something that was surprising to you that this is happening before Super Tuesday tomorrow?
Well, all indications that we were getting from senior staff is that she was still moving forward with Super Tuesday, but certainly the events of the last 24 hours have had an impact on those plans. I'm in Denver, Colorado. They're setting up for a Klobuchar rally. This is a rally that will not happen, as Senator Amy Klobuchar, according to a senior aide, will be announcing the end of her campaign this evening. She will fly to Dallas, where she will join former Vice President Joe Biden, and she will endorse him. What you are seeing there in that move is that the senator, who has had a tough run of it in Nevada and South Carolina, finishing 6th there, seeing Tom Steyer and Pete Buttigieg, both of whom dropped out, who did better than her in those 2 states. She is trying to consolidate the moderate vote. This is something that the senator has been talking at length about with reporters on the campaign trail. Her concern are the down ballot races, that should moderates be divided up and not solidified behind one person, that all of those moderates will be divided, and then Senator Bernie Sanders, will then have such a huge delegate lead that no one else will be able to pick up and carry that as a challenge to Senator Sanders. So Senator Klobuchar making a earlier than expected move, at least to this reporter, deciding to drop out and endorse Joe Biden. She is picking the person that she wants her people to back as Super Tuesday is approaching. There was some thought that she would stay in and try to block Minnesota for Bernie Sanders, because he in 2016 did quite well in Minnesota. But in making this move, the math appears to be that trying to push all of her supporters to Joe Biden, that's the math that this campaign is going to support. And one other thing, Brianna, something that the senator spoke about throughout this campaign is that the reason she came in is that she is a Midwesterner. She is someone who is able to reach across the aisle, look at bipartisan solutions. She has talked at length about the 100 bills that she's been able to pass through with Republicans, with moderates, that the people who show up at her campaigns are the ones that Democrats have got to be able to expand their tent and allow in. Those Midwesterners rebuilding the blue wall, that is going to be her legacy and her message as she pushes forward. She is going to encourage all Democrats, the moderates, to get into that tent and now back Joe Biden. Brianna?
All right, Kyung, if you would stand by for us as we're following this breaking news. You're there on the road with Senator Amy Klobuchar, who is going to suspend her campaign, get out of the race, and endorse the former Vice President Joe Biden. I want to bring in Dana Bash to discuss this. And this is very interesting when you look at Pete Buttigieg and now Amy Klobuchar sort of ahead of Super Tuesday, giving a little more space in that moderate lane to Joe Biden.
That's right. And what is interesting is that going into this decision over the weekend, Jeff Zeleny was told by Biden sources that they actually preferred that Amy Klobuchar stay in the race, which sounds counterintuitive. But looking at the math, because what is on Super Tuesday? Minnesota, her home state. And the hope was that, and Jeff is going to join us in a second, that she could take votes away from Bernie Sanders there. What I'm told before coming on with you is that part of the calculus in this decision to drop out and go and endorse Joe Biden today before the votes in Minnesota is that there was concern in her campaign that she could actually lose Minnesota.
Really?
One of the things we have seen and heard from her consistently on the campaign trail, on the debate stage, is that she touts that she's never lost a campaign. And she's never lost a big one. Now, obviously, this is a big campaign that she's not winning, but it's a whole different question when you are looking at your home state of Minnesota and the possibility of not saying I was victorious there in a Senate run. You know, we don't know if that would happen. The fact that that was a concern and it made her do a reversal, a pretty quick reversal in her plans, is very telling.
So Jeff Zeleny joining us now. Will this work for her to get out of the race and try to give those delegates that she might have received in Minnesota to Joe Biden? Does it work like that?
It doesn't work exactly like that. Delegates are not legally bound to those. This is something that will become an issue at the convention if it becomes a contested convention or a situation where the nominee is picked on the second ballot, because early vote is already underway there. So she is going to receive delegates tomorrow, almost certainly. But Dana is absolutely right about just the worry of potentially losing an election. I was just talking to a Democrat who's close to her campaign, said the exact same thing. They said that, look, I mean, when people cast their vote for president, they're not doing it just because they like a certain person. It's not a charity vote. They want that person, to be president, and she is almost at the end of her road to viability. So you're not going to throw away a vote for her necessarily. So she believes that her endorsement tonight in Texas for Biden is much more powerful than it would be on Wednesday, perhaps. And that's when, she was almost certain to leave the campaign. And she leaves this race, certainly with so much to be proud of. I mean, she enhanced her reputation. She outlasted Cory Booker, Kirsten Gillibrand, Kamala Harris. No one would have said that. She was a bit of a joke at the beginning. Some Democrats laughed at her candidacy. She proved that she is a serious debater and a candidate. So I think how she is leaving this is very indicative to what type of a campaign she actually ran.
That is such an important point. And we saw last night with Pete Buttigieg, and now we will see tonight with Amy Klobuchar. How you get out is almost as important as how you get in and conduct yourself during the race. When you are young, when you want a future, and you want to be part of the team. And in this case, the team is very, very laser focused on beating Donald Trump. And the fact that she did outlast almost all of her Senate, except for a couple actually, her Senate colleagues, is remarkable. And having watched her in New Hampshire, as you did, the other thing that Amy Klobuchar did is she helped make Pete Buttigieg and his rise and his win in Iowa very short-lived, because she had that very good debate in New Hampshire, and I spoke to voter after voter who were considering voting for Pete Buttigieg in New Hampshire, and they voted for Amy Klobuchar instead, and that kind of helped change the dynamic and the trajectory of this race.
I will say her snowy entrance, I don't know if you can beat that, right? That was a pretty interesting entrance into the race. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. This is a big shakeup here, a huge shakeup in the Democratic race. Just hours before Super Tuesday, Senator Amy Klobuchar is going to be announcing that she will suspend her campaign and endorse Joe Biden. We'll have more in just a moment.
Get ready, because Publishers Clearinghouse could surprise you with this. That's right, $7,000 a week for life. $7,000 a week, week after week for life. April 30th, it could be...
So did she say they want to come over? Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot to ask you that yesterday. I did. Like, Tommy went to sleep early too. Yeah, I forgot to ask you about that yesterday. Oh, Lord, did he call you again? No, but I was watching his post. Yeah, the text message. Yeah, the post. Yeah, Charles was like, why y'all want to ask? Man, I called Charles. I said, Charles, look, bro, we already got a lot of kids on this team. Yeah. I say, bro, where we going to put his son at? Yeah. I say, is he gonna be happy his son ain't gonna start, or his son might play 10% of the game, or 5% of the game? He's like, well, as long as y'all make that that start, shit, that's okay. He's like Tom. His son is a really good player on defense, man. I'm telling you. I like, man. Look, I'm not saying this is not good. Look, but bro, we got about 30 plus kids on this team right now. I say, shit. Like his son might play just 5% of the game. He's like, well, let him know that. He was like, I don't think he wouldn't mind. I like, man, look, I'll talk to him about that, but as of right now, it's a no. Yeah, we got too many people. Yeah, because that's a linebacker position. You know? Man, we borderline too many everything. Shit, linemen, running backs, receivers. Shit, what else? Shit, we borderline on everything. Yeah. The only thing we not too borderline with is that quarterback position. So, yeah, I like, man, we can't have nobody else in this team, man. Because even if he do agree to it, he jump on the team, he see his son playing, he's still gonna get bad. Like at the bottom line, people still gonna people saying that it's okay for my son, like I understand and this and that, but at the bottom line, people still gonna want their kids to play. Right. So. Yeah, he goes like he ain't I don't even know how they keep bringing it like that dude name up. They must be. I guess we're gonna have to find a 13-year team, but we'll be cheering for y'all. Yeah, go ahead, go find a 13-year team. Shit, they got one right there past the theater they can go to. Man, hell, they don't want to go on that team, Milton. They ain't going on that team. Hell no. Come on, man. So let me call you back. Alright. What's up, Brandon? Yeah. What? What? Oh no, yeah, I was gonna call you about that anyway. Tommy not gonna come this month. Because we gonna have practice every week this month, and then we got spring. So I was gonna, I don't see no way he can work out. So I was just gonna drop you your money by, but I don't see how I can make it work because he practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So the only days he can work out is either Monday, Friday, and then he got games on Saturday, and then we go to Corpus this week. And then next week we got the Jamboree, and then the following week that's when our spring start. So I don't see how I just don't see how I can do it. Then unless you gonna have to prorate me or something, like that's the only way. Cause I prorate me, like just see how many days I come out the month, then you just charge me for that. But I don't even see how I can come because the only time I can come is on Mondays. Because Friday. Yeah, cause. Yeah, we can come Sunday. Yeah, we can come Sunday. Yeah, we can come Sunday and Monday. Like we could do one-on-one just on Sunday and Monday. So how we gonna come on Mondays then if you got track for the next 2 weeks?
Next week's spring break though.
So we can come next Monday.
Next week is spring break. You got them go. Anything next week, shit.
Yeah, but see that's the thing.
Next week you got spring break.
Oh yeah, we can come early in the morning and work out. Yeah. Yeah, we can come either. Yeah, we can come Monday through Friday, like Monday. Either those 2 days we can come early. Like either Monday. Nah, I'm trying to work. Nah, we trying to work. Yeah, and then I want to start doing some positional work. Yeah, like his position, like his stance and shit, and like his he need to start exploding more out of his position. Yeah, but we're gonna be there. So we can't come this Monday, but we're gonna be there on Sunday. Yeah, because it's gonna be pushing it on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We got practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I don't want to work him out before practice. Huh? Yeah, I don't want to do that. So yeah, we can just do the Sunday and Mondays. In Corpus, no. But it don't matter. It don't even matter, bro. No, we going to the Corpus Christi tournament. Yes. Our Jamboree is next weekend. Penny, our quarterback. Nah, Julian playing spring ball. No, Julian playing 707 with you, I think. I don't know. Shit, Penny the starter, and Marquise gonna be the backup. Like, bro, we can't be playing. I don't know, because we haven't heard nothing from Junior and the people, so I don't know what's going on with them. Yeah. Man, look. Jonah need to be on this team. Why? I don't know. might do. I don't know. Yeah, he might be playing. Yeah, shit, he on the team. Shit, you out on the Bulldog jersey, you going. Hey, that nigga Brad Emerson trying to get on this team so bad, bro. Nah, it ain't Brad. It ain't that he don't fit. It's like, bro, like I told that Charles Tillermore dude, bro, Brandon, we got about, how many kids we got? We got about 35 kids on this team right now. Bro, we don't need no linebackers. We don't need no linemen. We don't need no receivers. We don't need no, bro, we don't need nothing. Like, we got to start a backup as a starter at every position. So we add his son. Is his daddy going to be all right that his son not playing? Like, I ain't, like, we ain't trying to have no drama on the team because your son might not get in the game. He might play the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. So, you know, like, I don't see how it can happen. Then Charles is like, shit, as long as you let him know before he joins, shit, that's on them. I like, nah, bro, because people say that shit, and then when they get on the team, they gonna want their kids to play, and then we ain't gonna, and then Hilton ain't gonna play them, and then it's gonna be a problem. So, nah. Because he ain't starting though, like Terrell gonna be our middle linebacker. It was LJ, but we dropping LJ back down to D lineman. And Brad said they starting over Terrell. No, he not starting over Terrell. Because like I told, because Hilton say he want to use Terrell mostly on defense. He gonna put him in at some on at running back. But shit, we got Ty from 713 Cardinals. Shit, he talking about, coach, I'm not starting. Shit, he was like, shit, you gotta come to practice. And you ain't starting over German. Ty, like they was up there at the camp this week. They done like 10 little plays at the camp, and I'm trying to get in with the starting group. He's like, oh no, I started, I bust out laughing. I like, shit, you ain't starting over German. And then, shit, we put X at wide out, we put Cordell at wide out, we put German in the backfield. And shit, Clack might not have his starting job no more, Brady. Shit, cause oh shit. He say he a dog, he just wanna see if he can take a hit. Bro, they killing me with this shit because they are like our kids ain't come from Balfour or Tiffany, Brandon. You know what I'm saying? They're like bro, just because he coming from Balfour, that don't mean he can't play football. The only thing I say about that is the competition level. That don't mean they can't play football. Oh. Team around with nobody. Fuck that shit.
What you mean you ain't doing nobody good? You just picked up on things. Just shut your ass up.
Man, we ain't teaming around with nobody.
Man, come on, man. I ain't trying to hear that, man. You picked up on things, man.
Man, look, he talking about merging organizations. We ain't doing no shit like that. Like the Cypress Mustangs did, and the Houston Seahawks and the Tigers. Man, we ain't doing no shit like that. Fuck this shit. Man, look, when you merge somebody, you changing your name. We ain't merging with nobody. We bulldogs. Bro, ain't nobody beating Jerome's team, bro. Hell yeah. I got $500 on the team against the Seahawks. Ain't nobody speak up yet on that bet. Bro, them niggas so fucking loaded on that team. Man, bro, them niggas is loaded, bro. Loaded. What you mean how? Nigga, that's because I know. Man, look, we got something in the works. I gotta wait. They got something in the works for that team. Somebody, a whole organization might be coming to that team. You gonna see. If they do, they gonna have a nice. I ain't gonna say they gonna be the. Well, shit, yeah, they gonna be the favorites. Huh? Yeah. I don't know. This team wasn't in no league last year. Oh yeah, they played the Titans. Nah, they gonna have like probably about 6 different players from over the Dogs. Man, I already know your big pop man's gonna say something, so I don't even tell you nobody.